The Ford F-150 Lightning is one of our favorite electric vehicles here at EV Pulse because it does just about everything extremely well. But what about the base Pro trim? Is this stripped-down truck a rolling penalty box or something that's actually worth buying? Well, the answer may surprise you. So before jumping inside and checking out the Lightning Pro's interior, let's do a very quick exterior walk around. And of course, as you can see, this is basically just a Lightning, which is just an F-150 with a big battery pack and a couple electric motors, so there are no real surprises. Still, in the base trim, you do make a few concessions. You can see the bumpers here are just black, not body colored or chrome. We also have a giant black plastic grille up front here and no fancy trim at all on this truck. But you still do get the super versatile Mega Power frunk. I hit the button there. It takes a couple seconds for the hood to lift up on its own, but once it does, you are treated to a whopping 14.1 cubic feet of storage space, a very generous amount of room. Of course, there's a little bit of underfloor storage as well, and they've got a nice made in the USA motif injection molded into the plastic. So this is actually a couple more cubic feet of room than you do get in the GMC Hummer EV pickup truck, so this is perhaps a slightly more space-efficient design. We also have, of course, a phalanx of power outlets here, household outlets as well as a couple USB ports. Now, the Lightning comes standard with Pro Power onboard that outputs up to 2.4 kilowatts of juice, though this truck has the optional system that's good for 9.6 kilowatts. It's $1,200 extra, and it basically would allow you to run an entire job site, so a pretty good deal at just $1,200. Moving along the side of the truck, we have standard 18-inch wheels. Nothing to get excited about there. Additionally, we have the charging port on the driver's side front fender here. Again, you've seen one of these, you've seen them all, but I do think this is a very good location to put a charging port. Probably the front of a vehicle in the grille somewhere is the best, but this I think is a very close second. We of course also have black plastic caps on the mirrors, and if you see here, black plastic door handles, because again, this is the base truck. You can't expect a lot of fancy features. We are also missing running boards, which I think is actually a very good thing. It's not very high to climb up into the cab. It's very easy to slide right in like that. And without running boards, there's no risk of dragging your pant legs against them and getting your pants covered in mud or dirt. So skipping the running boards ain't a bad idea. Moving rearward, Lightnings are only offered with the Super Crew bodies and a 5.5-foot bed. I would love if Ford offered a regular cab Lightning. I think that would be pretty cool. They wouldn't sell any, but it would still be pretty cool. Anyway, this is a pickup, so of course it does have a tailgate, and this one is fairly light, and it's super slick and closes with a very solid feel, so a lot of good engineering went into the tailgate. Additionally, you can see here we have a couple of trap doors. This allows you to put a clamp in there and perhaps clamp a piece of wood to the tailgate so you can use this surface like a workbench. Now, if you swing around here for a second, we have additional power outlets. Of course, some household plugs just like that, though this Lightning is also fitted with a 240-volt socket. So again, you have the option of basically running a job site off the Lightning, which is pretty cool. One more thing while we're back here, this truck is fitted with the optional spray-in bed liner, and I highly recommend you get the spray-in bed liner, not the drop-in. This is only $595 extra, but it's going to protect the cargo box from dents and scuffs and scratches for basically as long as you own this truck. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Get the spray-in bed liner. I think you will be very happy. But now let's jump inside and check out the cab. Opting for the Pro model, of course, means you give up a lot of features that would otherwise come in the Lightning. This truck, for instance, has no Blue Cruise. It does, though, have conventional cruise control. There are no power seats. These suckers are manual. They are also not ventilated, no surprise there, though they do have butt warmers. There's no 15.5-inch infotainment screen, no leather trim, no onboard scales, no sliding rear window, no active park assist, no seat belts. Oh, wait, it actually has those, never mind. There's no twin panel moonroof, no 18-speaker sound system, no power adjustable pedals. You get the idea. With everything not included, this Lightning sounds like a rolling dungeon, but that is absolutely not the case. The Pro's interior here is still very nice. It's stylish, comfortable, and well built. Digging a little bit deeper, we have vinyl floors that should be easy to clean. There's also vinyl covering all of the seats. And while this material isn't as nice as some of the other artificial leathers that are out there, it should be pretty durable. In front of me, of course, is an injection molded steering wheel, and that sounds terrible because they almost always are. However, this one actually feels fantastic. It's kind of a dense foam, it has a smooth finish, and it feels like quality. Additionally, there's a tilt and telescopic steering column here, so it's easy to get comfortable when you are driving the Lightning. As for the dashboard, it's a mix of mostly hard plastics, though there is some soft stuff sort of here in the middle on either sides. Very similar story with the door panels. Unfortunately, there's hard plastic on the upper portions here where you would rest your arm, and then the padded section down lower is also very dense and very hard, so I wish they had made it just a little bit cushier for your elbow. Minor point of complaint. Down here on the center console, though, we have a shifter, and for whatever reason, it power folds down into the console, and that's super useful in other F-150s because they do come with sort of a fold-out work surface, so you can put your laptop there or take notes, but this particular truck does not have that feature, so I'm curious why they included this folding shifter. Other amenities include power windows, locks, and mirrors, so no surprises there. We've also got a digital instrument cluster that is easy to read, and then over on the center of the dashboard is a massive for a base truck, massive for any truck, frankly. This is a 12-inch touchscreen that runs a Sync 4 infotainment system, and this setup is very intuitive, though it's not quite the most responsive multimedia array I've used. Still, it gets the job done, though of course if you don't want to use Ford software, you can always connect your phone and use either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto wirelessly. When it comes to options beyond the ones I have already mentioned, this truck is also fitted with the $1,950 tow technology package, which brings a whole bunch of useful features to the table, one of which is Pro Trailer Backup Assist, which allows you to steer the truck while reversing a trailer and using this little dial here. Very convenient. There's also an integrated trailer brake controller in a spot where it's easy to see and reach, so if things are starting to get a little bit squirrely, you can just squeeze this like that and bring your trailer right back in line. Additionally, this options group also includes an ever-useful 360-degree camera system. We also have the $1,100 Max Trailer Tow Package, which dramatically increases the capability of this truck, and it allows you to drag up to 10,000 pounds, or 9,600 if you opt for 20-inch wheels. And last but not least, we also have the optional $500 mobile power cord, which lets you AC charge either level 1 or level 2. Just swap the ends and you're good to go. Well, hello there. You know, passengers in the back of the Lightning are very well cared for because there's tons of legroom and headroom, plus this bench seat is also extremely comfortable, though unfortunately there is no fold-down armrest and no cup holders in the armrest, so you've got to use beverage receptacles here or in the door panels. But again, this is the base trim, so you can't have every single feature. But beyond carrying passengers, this truck is great at hauling cargo as well, because these cushions are split and they very easily flip up just like that. And as you can see, there's a huge amount of space on the floor here. Great for hauling cargo, and this floor is also basically flat, so it's a snap to just slide things in just like that. Lowering the cushion is easy as well. Now I mentioned ports earlier, and we've got a few here. A 120-volt household outlet, a couple USBs, and a 12-volt socket, so no excuse for your phone ever running out of juice. Plus, we've got a couple air vents to help you stay comfortable. Since this Lightning Pro has the extended range battery pack, that means it delivers a whopping 580 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque. Just like fancier Lightnings, this truck is a beast. Acceleration in normal driving is absolutely effortless. You are never, ever wanting for torque. Just roll on the accelerator and this thing moves. Punch it from a standstill, and the Lightning explodes off the line, shoving you into the seat and sometimes even squawking the tires. It's hard to believe something this big and heavy can move so quickly. As for the steering, it's perfectly fine for a truck, neither too light nor too heavy, too quick nor too slow. But the ride, I will say, it is firmer and a bit busier than I expected. Last year when we did our towing and range test with a Lariat model, I seem to recall the ride being a lot smoother and more composed, but again, these are two different trim levels, so maybe that's why. The Lightning's smaller battery pack clocks in at 98 kilowatt hours of usable capacity, though the larger pack, which we have here, of course, measures 131 kilowatt hours, and that big bad boy provides an estimated 320 miles of range on a charge, which really ain't too bad. As for DC fast charging, this pack tops out at 150 kilowatts, though in our EV Pulse Charging Challenge test, the truck did better than that, hitting about 155 kilowatts. Now, the Lightning also needed about 46 minutes to go from a 10% state of charge to 80%. Like any proper EV, this truck offers a one-pedal driving mode, which you can turn either on or off through the infotainment screen. Unfortunately, there are no different settings to that like you get in some other vehicles. It's either on or off, though fortunately, it does work very well. It's aggressive enough, but not annoying. But next, let's recap this all-electric pickup strengths and weaknesses, and then talk pricing. Even though it's the base model, there's still plenty to love about the Lightning Pro. As it sits, our tester has many worthwhile features, yet it doesn't go overboard with frou-frou fripperies. Beyond that, this truck's acceleration is astonishingly strong. There's plenty of space for passengers and cargo, the seats are cushy, and the range is very good with that big battery. Of course, there are some downsides. A little more padding on the armrests sure would be nice. This truck's ride is too firm. Ford is restricting the availability of Pro models, but more on this in just a second. And this base Lightning still ain't cheap. So even though the window sticker says vehicle not for sale and no MSRP is listed, according to the Ford Pro build and price tool, this Lightning goes for about $66,000, including $1,995 in destination fees. And of course, that is a lot of money, though the Lightning is eligible for a $7,500 tax credit. Unfortunately, and this is important, you as an everyday driver cannot buy a Lightning Pro with the extended range battery because Ford is only offering them to commercial and government customers. You can, however, get a Pro trim with the standard battery. They start at about $51,000, including destination, but the problem is they only have 240 miles of range, and I don't think that's quite enough for most folks. And that is a real bummer because there's so much to love about the Lightning Pro. It is refreshingly honest and authentic. In fact, it is one of my favorite EVs that's available today. It's just, I'm not allowed to buy the one I would want. Next, watch my video all about this truck's Pro Power onboard feature. I tell you what it is and how it works, so click right over here to check that out now.